All right, I had to make sure I was on the right channel. Pierre's here. Sorry. Thank y'all for coming on time. Everybody else, they get here when they get here. All right, sir. We're gonna get started. We're gonna make this quick, simple, short, and sweet. They did not do a lot of promos or monologues today on Raw. We only had two. And it was one from Becky and it was one from Cody, and that led to their opponents and allies coming out to basically let them know that either one, we coming for y'all asses, or two, we got y'all back. Okay? So let's start off with the very first match of the night, which was the 6-man tag team match between Imperium and New Day and Jey Uso. Now, quite frankly, this match was extremely fun. It was so much fun. Um, I really enjoyed the match. I'll say that. I had a wonderful time watching it. And I liked the fact that they was, playing well with each other. Excuse me, if that makes sense. They seem to play well off of each other. And while they tried their hardest to taunt Jey Uso, it didn't really work out in their favor because ultimately the New Day and Jey Uso were the ones who picked up the win. And they did it so it wasn't an effortless thing. It was a hard fought battle. I will say that. But for the most part, they had a very successful match. Gunther and Imperium did try their damnedest to take them out, but ultimately it just didn't work out in their favor. They lost. And it looks like because of that loss and Jey Uso getting the win, or Jey Uso and the New Day getting the win, it looks like the promise of an intercontinental championship match between the General and the main event, Jey Uso, is happening. And it is happening soon, like next week soon. Gunther is going to face off against Jey Uso for the Intercontinental Championship. I don't know, but if it were me and I was booking it, I would have Gunther lose that title to Jey Uso, and then I would have him qualify for the Elimination Chamber. But you know what? Everybody ain't me. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't me. So we have to, sometimes calls them like we sees them. But overall, it was a good matchup between the boys, and they were able to pull this one out their asses. So we're going to have to wait and see how that plays out. Now, to go to the monologues of the night before we get into the other qualifying matches, or rather other matches of the night, let's get it out the way. Cody Rhodes was out there. He was talking cash shit. He basically told The Rock, like, all right, man, you slapped me, you got me, but I'm going to get you back. Okay, I'm going to get my lick back, basically, is what he said. And then, Seth freaking Rollins came out. Now, when Seth came out and he told Cody Rhodes the truth. He said, we always haven't seen eye to eye. We usually are on opposing sides. But he says, I respect your decision and I respect what you feel you have to do. He said, but what is your plan? Because the last time you went up against this man, he used everything in his arsenal to beat you, and he did. So now, what is the plan? Cody really didn't have much to say. He kind of looked a little puzzled. He kind of looked a little lost in the sauce. He seemed a little down on his look. You know what I'm saying? Right. He didn't seem to be able to answer that question. And Seth Rollins is like, look, I'm going to lay it out for you so you understand. You're not only facing off against the bloodline, because we already know that the Solos are going to be there, the Jimmys are going to be there, the Heymans are going to be there. You now have another problem that is implemented in this game. You now have The Rock to contend with. And while, yes, we know that he is he's the Rock and he's the people's champ, he's the great one, he also has a extra added piece of power that adds to Roman's power. And if you lose, that power becomes omnipotent. And that affects all of us. It not just affects you, it affects everybody. And he said, I have to take some blame for Roman, because there was a time when we came in together, it was me who was ushering us in, and I helped create this monster. And this man has become a full-on monster, hungry and nothing but power. And all he wants to do is continue to dominate and control. I can't let that happen. So, long story short, the man said, I can't think of anybody else who could be your shield in going up against the bloodline. Now, I distinctly remember sometime last year, go back and check the tapes because I did say it. I said that the way this should go is that everybody who wants to get Roman out the way should be a part of this. Isn't that what I said? I said everybody that Roman beat, everybody that he bullied, everybody that he took down, everybody he talked about, everybody needed to be a part of his downfall. Is that not what I said? Yeah. That's what I said. That's what I said. I remember it because I said it. I wrote it. I remember it. And goddamn, is that what it's looking like, babe? Is that what it's coming to? It's starting to come into fruition. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, I'm gonna be getting a lot of flowers this time. I'm gonna be getting a lot, and I'm gonna be holding you to it. For sure. Okay? Now, Seth told him, I'll stand by your side. I will be your shield. And I was online. I was on commentary like, nigga, you gonna need a shield, a bishop, a pawn, a rook. You gonna need the queen. You gonna need everything you can think of. Okay? The chessboard itself. Okay? To be able to contend with the bloodline. All right? So if he offering help, bitch, you better take it. Because clearly by yourself, Cody, this ain't gonna work. We done seen this play out before. Now you better do like Madam Web and rewind this shit and do it differently, because we don't have time. We don't have time for you to play superhero Mega Scott. We don't have time for that. We don't have time for that, okay? We don't have time for that. Get it together. Sasha, no. See, told you. Now, Seth came out there dressed to the nines, honey. Okay, it was giving. It was giving. Okay, I thought he was gonna be like Eartha Kitt and purring and shit when he came out there. Okay. Either way, he came out there, dropped his dime promo, and left. Okay, and that left Cody with a little bit of thinking. Then, later on in the night, you see Cody and Sammy. Cody said, listen, whatever you got going on with Shinsuke, I understand. I know he's now targeting you, and I got your back the same way you had mine against Drew. I got you. Okay? Now, Seth hugged him. They seem to be real cool. I'm like, I see something here. I see it. I don't, it tastes real fresh. Freshly squeezed, might I add. Okay? It's real fresh. Now he looks like a mob wife. That's a pretty accurate description. But anyways, the second monologue came from Becky. Becky came out there and told everybody, pretty much how she was feeling. At first, she was a little down in the dumps because of Royal Rumble. And then she moved on and was like, I done got myself qualified. I was the first woman to qualify for Elimination Chamber. Never been in the Elimination Chamber. This is my first go round. She talked about how, she once failed gym class and she became the first woman to main event Mania and win. She talked about how she had to explain things to her daughter. Her daughter Rue is asking her questions that she has to find ways to answer. Like, mommy, why are you bloodied and bruised? Why can't you pick her up? Why can't you pick me up? Why is daddy limping? Why does daddy want to fight Maui? I was like, girl, forgot that nigga played Maui. I was like, damn. Yo, daddy do want to fight Maui, babe. He do. He do. But technically, Maui did steal the heart of Tafiti, so he kind of deserved that. You know what I'm saying? He deserved an ass whooping. Because he definitely stole that lady heart and then turned her black. And everything he did caused the people to be suffering. So it's his fault. But anyway, if y'all ain't never seen Maui, I just spoiled it. So purr. Oh well, like y'all need to watch it. It's on Disney Plus. You ain't got no goddamn excuse. Anyways, so Becky came out there. She talked her shit, and she was just like, I promise you that the only explanation I'm gonna have to do with my daughter is to show is the brutality and the pain I'm gonna inflict on the women inside the elimination chamber, and then I'm gonna turn my attention to the champion, Rhea Bloody Ripley. Now, of course, Nia Jax brought her crying ass out there. This is about as crybaby as she gonna get, cause that lady wasn't crying at all. Okay, that was horrible acting, horrible, basura. Okay, it wasn't good, babe. It wasn't good. Like, I don't know if you couldn't, like, cry on contact or whatever, if it hurt. I don't know what it was, but the girl, she wasn't crying. And I don't think she was trying to, but she could have at least attempted, came out there with the tears already streaming down. Get you a little thing of Visine and put it on your eyes so your eyes will be a little itchy. They look red. Look like you've been crying. Get you a couple of them tricks that the actors of them use. They put water drops in their eyes to make their eyes cry. That's what they have to do. You didn't do none of that. But Nia came out there and said, I hope to be as great of a mother as you one day. And I said, and now this whole time, Becca had this cup of lemonade in her hand. She should have threw it. Okay, because I'd have threw the lemonade in her face. Threw it in her face, okay? But she didn't. I'd have threw it in her face, but she didn't throw it in her face. She let Nia say what she was gonna say, and then after Nia got done fake crying, she basically was like, she gonna beat the hell out of Rhea Ripley, and then she gonna be champion, and then it's gonna be her heading into WrestleMania, not Rhea, and that she gonna have to contend with her or whatever. And that didn't sit too well with the current champion, Rhea Bloody Ripley, because really Rhea been getting her ass whipped for almost 3 weeks, honey. Okay, and Rhea is tired. Okay, she came out there on a mission. I ain't see Wide Hip Adam come out there all night. You understand? He didn't move all night long. Child.
Kill themselves, fine.
He said, fuck it. I'm tired of getting my ass whooped every time he come. I'm sick of it. So Adam didn't come out there. Adam didn't even attempt to stop the fight. So the girls was out there fighting, and Nia ended up getting kicked, and she basically got kicked by both of them. She smashed Rhea and Becky in the corner. Becky got a lemonade all spilt and shit all over the place. And so Becky climbed to the top rope while Rhea was trying to take out Nia. Nia pushed off Rhea, and Becky got a little, she like donkey kicked her off the top rope, and that kind of made Nia stumble a little bit. And as Nia was leaving to go out the ring, she came back on the apron to get back in, and that was when Rhea moved Becky out the way and went after Nia and kicked her off the apron. And the girls was looking at each other, and Rhea told her, was like, bitch, you gonna have to kill me. See, that's what I'm saying. This kind of shit I'm talking about. This kind of shit I like. I be on commentary telling them you gotta kill them. They don't be listening. I be telling y'all. You want shit, you're gonna have to take from their cold, dead hands. Okay, you're gonna have to pry it from their cold, dead hands. Okay, you're gonna have to kill them. It's the only way. It's the only way you're gonna get it. I hope you get it. I hope you don't get it. All right, so we're gonna look at the qualifying matches because Raw moved by pretty quickly for it to not have a lot of promos cut that day today, but it moved by pretty quickly. What Nan tier? One Nan tier? One Nan tier? Tears are just a mess, honey. Anyway, so let's start off with the women's qualifier since it was only one. We had Liv Morgan going up against Zoe Starks. I knew that Liv was going to win. Okay, Liv qualified. It was a hard fought battle, but she qualified in her Christina Aguilera inspired gear. So good for Liv. She's going to be going to the Elimination Chamber match for the Women's World Championship. Okay. Okay, girl. Um, she'll procreate with somebody when she feel like it. You know, only Nia interrupted Becky telling a story, but she also ruined a wet dream because I always live for Becky and Rhea having face offs. Well, Rhea, by the time Nia came out, Becky was done telling her story, so she didn't ruin anything. It's just I don't really care about what she be talking about. One thing about her, she's gonna have a good bust down middle part, okay? Her hair was nice today. Nia hair was real cute. It was flat iron straight, which I think looks better on her than that weird ass curly away from her face type look she does. I don't like that look too much. I like the straight look. I think most of the girls look great with that straight hair coming straight down. I just like the way that looks on them. But anyways, Liv Morgan qualified and good for Liv. We love that for her. Okay. Okay. Look, the other two qualifying matches, it was Bobby Lashley versus Bronson Reed. And if you thought Bronson was gonna win, you a fool. It's the only way I can explain it is you a fool. Bobby came out and they had a nice little group with him. They came out together. The Street Profits and Brianna and all of them came out together and it looked real cute. It did. Hold on, let me see if I can find a picture of them. Because they posted a picture of them coming out there together. Oh, I can't find that. I can't find that, ladies and gentlemen. But it was a picture of Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits all together, coming out as a group, as a collective. And now I'll say this. So let me make it very clear. I like the fact that Brianna is being utilized. I like the fact that she's in the group with Bobby Lashley. This evens them out against Final Testament. But she doesn't look like she fits in the group. And I don't and I said it on my commentary, but it was like it's interesting because they made Dawkins shape up to be in the group, right? They made him start dressing closer to what Bobby dresses like in terms of him taking pride in what he wears. But they didn't make Brianna match the aesthetic. And that's the only thing that I had an issue with. Is like if what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I feel like Brianna could use the extra styling in this group. I think that she should match their energy. She ain't gotta dress like she finna go to the next board meeting, but it needs to be cohesive. It needs to have something that goes along the same vein stylistically as the Street Profits. And right now, what she's giving is not that. But that doesn't mean that she's bad or anything. It just means she's not fitting in the style part of it, in my opinion. Now, I ain't mad at it. It looks good together. All of them together, it looks great. But anyways, Bobby did qualify. He beat Big Titty Bronson. So good for him. It's gonna be all big meaty men in this damn elimination chamber. It seemed like moving on to the final qualifier, we had LA Knight going up against Ivar. Now, interestingly enough, there was no AJ Styles out there today, costing LA Knight this match, Jared. Mm-hmm. Nobody came out there. It was just Ivar and LA Knight, huh? Yep. Okay. So I went to the bathroom. during this match, so I didn't get to see it because I had a peach out. Body does what the body wants. Ultimately, LA Knight qualified. He is going to be in the Elimination Chamber match. Now, we got 4 of the 6 men who are going to be in the Elimination Chamber, and we still need to gain 3 more to be in this match. Now, for the women, now they say that there is going to be a battle royal to determine who is going to get that 6th slot. And I bet money it's going to be Jade Cargill. More than likely, Jade Cargill will qualify for the Elimination Chamber in this women's battle royal. That's going to be an interesting time. We're going to wait and see. Although I do feel like Indy should have qualified as well. She should also be in this chamber, seeing as how they going to be in Australia. It's only fair because if they was going to India, you would have gender qualified for the men's elimination chamber. Am I right? You see what I'm saying? So it's only fair. It's only fair. Now, there were some off matches, I guess you could say obscure matches. One of them, well, the only one that I can remember is JD McDonough going up against R-Truth. This match was announced, but it was announced via Twitter. Last I checked, yeah, it was announced via Twitter. Yeah, they didn't have this match on the website, but they did have it on Twitter. So before the match, they made sure to tell R-Truth that he is not a part of Judgment Day, and he never was, and he never will be. And of course, R-Truth tried to get in touch with Miz, but outside of kayfabe, if you don't know, I really hate talking about people's personal business, but because Maurice put it out for everybody to see, I will make sure you know here. Maurice was dealing with precancerous tumors on her I believe it was her uterus. It was around the uterus area. She was getting bulging in the area, and she was looking 6 months pregnant at times. She was going to doctor after doctor after doctor, and nobody had any answers for her. She seemed to be very distraught. She never stopped though. She went and found out the information that, so she can talk to a doctor that would actually help her. There was a doctor who was listening, who wanted to help. They went in and they found these precancerous tumors. They removed the tumors, but now Maurice has to have a complete hysterectomy to remove everything so that those cancerous tumors do not come back. If they were not found in the time frame that they were found, Maurice would have developed cancer and would have had a life expectancy of about a year, according to her post. So we know that God is good and is watching over everybody. And I'm glad that Maurice was very, very focused and vocal about what was going on with her. And she didn't let the unprofessionalism and the cruel bedside manner of some doctors steer her away from living and being able to be there for her daughters and for her husband, and more importantly, for herself. So Miz is more than likely at home with his wife, nurturing her and being there for her, prepping her for surgery and being there for the girls. He's a very hands-on dad. So we in the IWC respect that. We're going to let them live their lives, and we're not going to mind their business. We're going to pray that she has a speedy recovery and that she's healthy and that Miz is okay and he can be there for his wife. That is it. That is all. But that is one of the reasons why they did the little bit with R-Truth calling Miz, trying to find out if he can make it there in time, because he has a match with Judgment Day. The match was against JD McDonough. Prior to that match, R-Truth was told he was never in the group. He's never going to be a part of the group. And Damian Priest is just like, that was not a jumping. That wasn't a jumping in. That was you getting beat down, bro. And he was like, tonight, what this is simple. It's an execution. And that's it. I hope you understand now what's going on. So Damian Priest walked out with his bandmates, his merry band of idiots, and they all walked out together and went into the ring. R-Truth was walking out by himself. He then gets in the ring and he has a match with JD McDonough. For the most part, he beat the brakes off of JD McDonough. That match was pretty cool. But in the end, McDonough was able to pick up the win. They beat up R-Truth, and DIY came to his rescue. And then backstage, he told him that there was DX, and he was like, Shawn and Triple H came to my rescue. And they was just like, all right, cool, that's fine. At least you weren't the other two. And the girl, I was like, fair. Oh shit. It is what it is, it was funny as hell. But all in all, Raw was a pretty solid show. They had a little segment with Sammy, very similar to the segment they had last week on SmackDown when Sammy was trying to qualify for Elimination Chamber. And he just felt a little frustrated. He was a little down. He seemed a little sad, a little down on himself. Um, that's when Shinsuke Nakamura popped up on the screen and basically was just like, you think that, you are ungrateful. And he said, look at what you already accomplished. You've already been to the promised land. And now here you are sitting here whining and moping. He was like, it's okay. I'm going to be the one to pick up your soul. And I'm like, damn, Shinsuke, you ain't have to kill him. Like, he said, I'll see you out there. And they basically had their match. What pissed me off was that Drew McIntyre came out there and cost Sammy this match. To this day, I cannot explain to you why he did that. Other than because he's already beaten Sammy twice. Beat him on two different occasions. There was no excuse for him to bring his bitch ass out there. He has absolutely none. No excuse whatsoever. My thing was, even if you somehow can convince me that he earned the right to be able to come out there and do what he wanted to do, you just can't. Logistically, you just can't explain that to me in any way, shape, or form that it was meant for him to come out there. Because he had no reason to be out there. None whatsoever. He already had his moment. He didn't need to come out there and fight with anybody. Nobody was talking about him. He had already talked in the back about how he had pretty much led everybody to the promised land and how he gonna beat the brakes off of Cody. He had his moment. There was no reason for him to come out there and cost Sammy his time. And he did. Because Sammy had a good match with Shinsuke. He ruined it. He ruined that match for no fucking reason. None whatsoever. It just wasn't about him. And you know what I said to AJ when we was doing I was doing commentary earlier. I was like, the sad thing is even if um even if he somehow pulls off the magical plan of being able to win the World Heavyweight Championship, nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to care about him winning. Nobody's going to give a shit about him being champ. Why? Everybody's going to be focused on Cody. He still isn't going to get his Cinderella moment. So you're doing all of this just for you to still be mystery relevant. Craziness. That makes absolutely no sense to me. None whatsoever. But do you, babe? Do whatever makes you happy. Okay? And as I went off, Cody came out there to help save him from the attack. So there's that. Okay? Because next week there's going to be a match between Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. This more than likely is going to be your main event. And like I said, you're going to have the Intercontinental Championship match next week as well. So you got a lot going on, babes. It's a lot. It's a lot. A lot. It's a lot going on. Well, we love it. We love it. And currently, right now, in terms of Elimination Chamber, the match card is pretty booked. It's booked pretty solid, which I'm very happy about. And it seems like they're gonna have another 4-match pay PLE, the same way they had it for Royal Rumble is the same way they're gonna have it for Elimination Chamber. So let me explain. Let me show you what I mean. All right. So, if you don't know, now you know. Elimination Chamber is Saturday, February 24th in Perth, and it's going to be on at 6 a.m. Let me repeat. Elimination Chamber comes on Saturday, February 24th at 6 a.m. in the morning. Now, if you want to wait and watch it on the replay, you definitely can. That's when it comes on, babes. That's when it comes on. So, uh-oh. Match card is as follows as of right now. You've got Elimination Chamber in Perth with the Women's World Championship. Rhea Bloody Ripley is going to be going up against the woman who refers to herself as the immovable, the unstoppable force. Is that what we call it? The unstoppable force, Nia Jax. She's going to be going up against Rhea for her championship. The tag team titles are going to be contested and defended. The British Strong Style are going to be going up against Judgment Day's Finn Balor and Damian Priest for the tag team titles. And as of right now, the Elimination Chamber is still shaping up. We still have two more people to qualify for Elimination Chamber on the men's side, and for the women, we still need three more people to qualify for Elimination Chamber. So it looks like these are going to be your core matches, which I'm fine with. Elimination Chamber doesn't need to be super long, but the Elimination Chamber match itself is pretty long. So I kind of understand why they have it that way. You know, it's completely fine. It's cool. It's good. It's good. It's good. Anyways, so that is your Elimination Chamber setup, okay? This Friday, right? This Friday, the High Chief, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, will be in attendance along with his cousin, Chief Roman Reigns. They are showing up to SmackDown, of course, to one address what Triple H alluded to this past Friday, and of course, address Cody Rhodes and his probably new alliance with Seth freaking Rollins. But I suspect that Cody will show up on Friday Night SmackDown, especially since The Rock smacked him in the face. He says he's owed a receipt and he's going to come to collect. So we'll wait and see. We got a whole month, baby. We got a lot of work to do and a little bit of time to do it in. It's time to start throwing some weight and shifting some shit. We gonna wait and see how it plays out. But Friday is happening, babe. It's the start of a turn of the century. Now, tomorrow is NXT, people. Okay. Let me see if they got NXT up here. Oh, they finally got the Elimination Chamber up here. Amazing. We love that. We love that. We love that. Oh, they got the bigger pictures, the better pictures for Elimination Chamber on the thing. That's interesting. Anyways, they picked really good renders of the girls. But any whoosies. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta go to NXT and pull it up. All right. So, moving on to NXT, ladies and gents, okay? Now, Carmelo Hayes has made it very clear where his loyalties lie, and it definitely is not with Trick Williams, okay? It definitely is not with Trick Williams, okay? And honestly, we've come to expect it. We learn from it, we grow from it, and then we move on. Okay? With all that being said, this is an image that was left on our palettes last Tuesday from Carmelo Hayes' attack. Not only did he attack the current champion Ilya Dragunov, but he also went after little old Joe Gacy, who was just taking a nice little selfie with his boxing glove selfie stick. He ended up attacking Joe Gacy with so much vengeance and venom. Joe Gacy loved every minute of it, though. He kind of lends credence to what I say about most wrestlers, that they have a kink for pain. Because I mean, he's smiling all the way through it. I think they do. I don't care what anybody says. I do. Anyway, it is what it is. So we're gonna wait to see how all that plays out. But tomorrow we're gonna have a tag team match with the family going up against Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin. All right. You're gonna have a lot of that going on. There's a lot of it. It's gonna be a lot of stuff going on. And then they still have to prepare for NXT's roadblock. So there's a lot of that that's probably going to end up happening. You know, I see some real shit happening, but I'm not sure. We're just gonna wait and see how everything plays out for NXT. But NXT is in a weird place right now. It's on stilts. You know what I mean? It's rocking. But the last thing we're gonna talk about is what The Rock said on his Twitter in regards to Cody Rhodes and him slapping this man in the face. He basically doubled down on everything that he did and everything that he said, and I'm going to read to you what this man said, because no matter what he says, it doesn't make sense, because Cody didn't say or do anything wrong per se. It's all in how you perceive it. According to The Rock via his Instagram, I was born into this crazy world and I love every second of it. It has been decades since pro wrestling has been buzzing like this for WrestleMania, and this has become a rare air that we're all breathing, and it's very fucking cool and exciting for us as wrestlers, our company, and most importantly, all our fans. He goes on to say, your hero fucked around and he found out quick what happens when you talk about our family with disrespect. Now, I'm trying to understand where Cody disrespected your family. Because if the disrespect was coming, if the disrespect was at Roman, because he basically said that your granddaddy and your granddaddy would be ashamed of you, which is true. Because Roman isn't winning on any merit when it comes to certain people, because he knows in reality he can't beat them. So he wins on the by any means necessary notion, and it's not for bringing honor to his family, because honor is winning or losing with grace, losing with honor. He doesn't do that. It's all about him and the way it makes him look and how he gets to be the top guy and how he's the alpha male. It's never about his family or anybody else. It never has been about that. That's what he mean by his grandfather being ashamed. And The Rock knew that. But he just used this situation to go at Cody because he wanted to. It had nothing to do with that. And it was just the mere fact that he mentioned their grandfathers at all that he had an issue with, which, whatever. I'm not allowed to mention your grandfather, but he's allowed to tell me that my father was irrelevant. Nah, 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 nah. We're not playing any of these games. He goes on to say, lines crossed and blurred. Bring it. We don't toe the mark for anyone. The road to WrestleMania begins. Signed, the People's Champ. Well, the people have been booing you as of lately, babe. So I don't know how you're going to be a champion of people who don't like you. I guess you would be more of a dictator or a cult leader. Sometimes the cult leader has people who hate them in the cult, you know? Yeah. I don't know what they're gonna do, but they're gonna do something, and it's gonna be interesting because the way this is looking like a lot of people are gonna get their asses kicked. Okay, and we're gonna be able to witness it, and it's gonna be so good. So I hope you guys enjoyed my little breakdown of Monday Night Raw. It really was a pretty straightforward show. There wasn't a lot of like nuanced shit going on. It was pretty straightforward, really telling you exactly how they felt. There wasn't a lot of like reach around or anything. It was a real bada boom, bada bing. Let's get this show on the road. Like, that's it. Road on the show. That's it. That's all there was. There was nothing else to it. So, hope you guys enjoyed it because I did. I hope you guys continue to watch tomorrow when it comes to the orange brand of NXT because it's fun over there in NXT, and people NXT their props. They be disrespected NXT. They really do. But I hope you guys enjoyed the show either way. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll be out. Oh, excuse me. Do not forget, ladies and gents, okay? Do not forget to please, please, please. For whatever reason, the algorithm is not notifying people when I go live and they're missing the lives. They're not able to participate or watch. Don't forget to comment on the videos as well. That also boosts it in the algorithm. And I don't know, they're just not pumping out my videos anymore over here on YouTube. It's getting a little weird. But when I post something on shorts, they're putting it out there for everybody to see. I really hate this algorithm. But you guys, don't forget to come on over here tomorrow. We're going to talk about NXT and what had happened. And I will see you guys then. Bye.